So welcome. This is Wool Walk. This is New Jersey Wool Walk 2020. And this is our third video in the series during Wool Walk. And we are the Yarn Shop at Alma Park. I'm Rose, and I'm introducing Jess. Now, for those of you who are in the store or have been in the store, you know who Jess is. Jess was set to debut her hand-painted yarn line for Wool Walk in April, but then we know what happened, COVID. So we've decided to do it today. And so this is going to be a trunk show, Fiber Arts by Jess. This is Jess. I'm Rose, and I'm going to hand it over to Jess, and she's going to show you some of her stuff, some of her beautiful yarns, which are behind us.
Yes.
And she's going to go through some of her stuff and what she's been doing and what she may have planned for the future. Jess.
Hello, everybody. For those that don't know me, my name is Jessica. I'm a mom of 4. Grew up in this area, longtime resident of New Egypt. Started spinning about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
4 years ago, knitted for a long time, crocheted since God knows how long. And now I decided to jump into hand dyeing. It was very daunting at first, I will say that. Very exciting with all the colors. But I have successfully now launched my first line. Some of the first things I did was started very small with minis. So my first projects with 2 of my singles. Let's bring these a little closer so you can see all the pretty colors. And this funky looking fall one. I made, it was Suzanne Claudino Aguilera, something like that. She does a toy line. So I knitted up this cute little bat. And these little wings.
And we'll put the links to Ravelry patterns in the show notes.
Yes. And here's the little ghost that goes with him. And his pointy little head. But they came out adorable.
They are adorable.
So that's how I started. I also started with sock blanks because Rose had a need for sock blanks. So one of the colors I did, it's called Mermaid Tail. No, this one isn't Mermaid Tail. This one is Fairy Garden. I did it in both a plain sock blank, all the purples and the greens and the peaches. Actually, I used that color in a class Rose taught on hand dyeing. And
so for those of you
I came up with.
For those of you who don't know what a sock blank is, I know a lot of people, we get this question asked a lot. What it is it was knitted on a machine, a flatbed knitting machine, and you can get sock blanks either in 1 strand or 2 strands. This is a 1-strand sock blank. The 2-strand sock blanks would give you a pair of socks identical because they would be stranded together, and when you dyed them, theoretically they should be identical. This is a 1-strand sock blank, and you can either wind it into a ball to knit from, like Jess did on one of hers.
Just to do a sample.
Right. Or you can knit straight from this, one side unravels. It's kind of like just frogging a project. You can knit right from it. And you know, it's really easy. It's just like knitting with any fingering weight yarn. And what's great about sock blanks is you really never know what it's going to turn out to be. So it's really, really cool. So that's what a sock blank looks like. And it is typically, it's a 100-gram skein of fingering weight yarn. So this sock blank is platinum DK. Platinum fingering, excuse me. So it's 75 superwash merino and 25 nylon, and it's 463 yards.
So to continue with the fall season, I had come out with, because, you know, we knit year round. So we need spring colors, we need fall colors. I came up with turning leaves. It's got a lot of reds, a lot of golds, a little bit of brown. So it looks like the changing of the leaves. That was actually inspired by last fall and written down and then dyed eventually. Rose did a showcase on her patterns on Sunday,
Yes.
was the pattern
Yes.
showcase of her hindsight shawl. And I had done one in my yarns, 3 colors, DK, with our handy dandy little shawl cuff on here that we sell, just to keep it from falling, because I have that problem and everybody has that problem. The one end will always fall off your shoulder. So the colors I came up for with that, this is my chocolatey sarsaparilla brown. Name is sarsaparilla. I have it fingering NDK. The blue you might see, I did a nice little homage to the 80s. And that would be mom jeans. Because we all got a pair.
I don't.
Yes,
I have
you do.
many.
And the variegated you see, there, some there, all over the place. This is also my giveaway. If you come in or make a purchase online, we're giving away one of these. This is called Barnwood. Everybody that sees this in person loves it.
Yeah, when Jess first did that, I tried to steal some of her skeins, but she wouldn't let me. She's so mean.
That I was actually trying to duplicate something I had done before, and it came out even better. So, happy accident. I like happy accidents, especially when they make pretty yarn. So, that's just a sampling, but I have more because I actually started knitting again. And this pandemic had me like, I don't want to do anything. Homeschooling, not fun. Still doing it. So I actually casted something on the other day that Rose and I had found. It was in Hot Right Now on Ravelry.
Mm-hmm. No, I think I saw it on Knit and Chat.
No, that's right. You said you found it on
Yep.
Knit and Chat. Great place to get good ideas. And it's called the Aurora Borealis cowl. So here is my ribbing. It's a nice stranded. I do like stranded color work. And the yarns I used for that, let's see, we got right here. This one is By the Sea. So it's a little brighter than my mom jeans. Kind of gives you the feeling of being on the Jersey Shore, because I didn't go this year. And this one is Ice Fairy. I'll be honest, my daughter helped me name this one. So everything has fairy in it. But it's just a nice little bit of pinks and blues with some pops of turquoise. But that's a good sampling. I mean, I obviously have more colors. Let me show the sweater. Yes. Oh, yes. And my sweater. What was that? 2 years ago?
Yeah.
We did the flax light. I
Yep.
think that was a spring knit along that we had done. So I had dyed my own yarn that I just threw on the floor for the flax light. So this one is called Midnight Vineyard. So I have this in fingering, so you can do the light. And it's also a Donegal tweed, so it gives you that little pop, even though it's not a super warm sweater. It makes it, people think it's a warm sweater. It's a hot weather sweater that you're wearing in spring. That. And everything is in fingering and DK. Unfortunately, I have not started my worsted line yet. And there's one more I need to show to pay homage to my residents, my hometown. This again was trying to match a speckle I did called Sunflower, which is behind me. And I did a solid to match it. But when I took it out of the pot and it dried, I said, this looks exactly like the colors for our middle, high school, elementary school. Used to just be middle or elementary school, but I'm showing my age. And this is N.E.Gold. There will be a blue companion to it coming as soon as I get the right.
It's brighter than it's
It is definitely brighter than it's showing. It's very goldy.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. And here is the one that inspired it. This is Miss Sunflower. It's a bit of a gold with just a hint of brown speckle like the center of your sunflowers, dipped in a little green. So you get those nice longer sections of green. And of course, I had come up with green to match it. So this would be sunflower stem.
And these also come in DK and
Yes.
would look awesome in my hindsight shawl.
Correct. Here we go. Let's show. There you go. That's all three of them together. Look at that. Very easy pattern. Just knits and yarn overs. Beginner would relish in this pattern. And, oh, we almost forgot the coupon for the special people watching. If you spend $100 in either my hand-dyed, Rose's hand-dyed, or our farm yarn from our animals, put in this code, either online or in store. You got to mention the video if you come in the store, though. Put this code in, and you'll get 10% off.
And that's our website, yourlysonline.com. And the code is NJWW2020, New Jersey Wool Walk 2020. Okay, so do you have anything else?
No.
No? Okay,
Nothing till
so
we get to the fiber section.
Okay, so what questions do we have for Jess? You could put them in chat, or or you guys could unmute yourself, and we could get some questions. Okay, well, I'll ask a question. So Jess, what do you like most about dyeing?
The colors.
You like playing with the colors?
Playing with the colors and putting them together.
And isn't it really cool when you knit with your own stuff?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
It's nice to see what it comes out to be.
So what is your favorite colorway that you've done so far, do you think? Because I know what my favorite colorway is that she's done so far. What's your favorite colorway?
I can't decide. There's so many. Ooh.
This is definitely my favorite
That's a
colorway.
hard decision.
This is definitely my favorite color, Barnwood. I told you I tried to steal some when she first did it, but she wouldn't let me. She's such a meanie, really. Oh, so thank you. Thank you
very much.
Thank you. Somebody just said the yarn is beautiful. Thank you.
Barnwood.
Barnwood, yes, yes. See? Yeah, Tracy may have picked some of that up today.
Yeah.
I can neither confirm or deny. But you know, Barnwood. And I'm actually coming up with I'm working on another DK shawl pattern right now, and which I happened to mention to Tracy.
Yes.
So she may just wait and not do hindsight, and may just wait for the new shawl pattern. Yeah. So, you know, I'm going to do a new DK three color shawl. No, did I say that right? Yeah, three colors. Yeah, 3 skein DK shawl. That's going to be my next pattern. You know, that would be a great selection either in the sunflower set or the Barnwood set. This is the Barnwood set right there. And we have plenty of this in stock if you want some. So any other questions? No? Oh, yeah.
Nope.
Yes, all of the colors are online.
Yes.
Okay, so if you go to our website and you go to yarn, Indie Dyed Yarn by Jess, you'll see all of her colors.
Yep.
You'll see all of her colors, and all of her yarns are right there. So you go to my website and then you go to yarn, Indie Dyed Yarn by Jess, and you'll see that. And they're all online. And don't forget, you know, to use the code if you spend more than $100 on her yarns, my hand painted yarns, or our farm yarns. Okay. Any other questions? So look at that. We're back. we're back. Okay, so as you can see, that says fiber. We are a big spinning and felting shop as well. We like to say that, you know, we have a ton of fiber in stock because we literally do. And, you know, there's not many stores in our area that sell any fiber, but that's how I started. When I first started our yarn business in 2004, you know, I didn't know how to spin. The indie dyed yarn market was non-existent at the time, but fiber was there. I had plenty of fiber because I had plenty of animals out that I sheared and needed to do something with. So I started doing art bats, and that's what we're sitting in front of, some of our art bats. Okay, they're squishy. I promised Jess I wasn't going to say soft and squishy tonight.
At least not 100 times, please.
But I am. But I am. So we're going to get to the bats, but I want to show you some of the stuff that we do here as well, because we also do hand painted top. We do Rolags. We do farm Rovings. We have a lot of yarn and fiber in stock. Yes. All of our fiber, you know, can be spun, felted. Some can't be felted because, you know, we have a little bit of fiber that is superwash, but most of our fiber is wet feltable. And of course, everything is needle feltable. And of course, everything is spinnable. We also sell raw fiber right off the animal, which I'm not going to go through tonight because I don't bring unwashed fiber into the main part of the store, and I wanted this backdrop. So if you're looking for raw unwashed alpaca fiber, you know, just reach out to us and we'll be happy to get something together for you. And feel free to ask any questions in chat as we go along. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to start off with some hand painted braids that we do here in the store. This is an oldie but a goodie. I keep making this colorway because people love it. Oh, you know what? We should show the shawl.
Yes.
So this is called Walkers. Okay. And it is gray, some brown, and some red. And it is based on the television show, The Walking Dead, which anybody who knows me knows I love zombie movies, dystopian movies, end of the world movies, disaster movies. I'm like a real weirdo. I just could watch that stuff. Even if it's a really bad movie, I watch it because I don't know what it is. I just love that stuff. And so when I came up with this, you know, this colorway, I was trying to come up with a different colorway. Oh, way different. It was supposed to be some red robin on some
cardinal on a birch
tree. And I came up with that and I did it and I was like, oh my God, that looks nothing like what I was going for. And as I was sitting there looking at it, it was yarn at the time. I was looking at it, I was watching, you know, I was watching on something on my iPad, and all of a sudden a commercial came on for The Walking Dead. And I looked at the yarn. And I looked at the TV and I looked at the yarn and I said, oh, that's it. And it immediately became, you know, a hit. And so this is Walkers. We have this in stock. We do this on mixed Leicester wool, blue-faced Leicester wool. Okay. And this is what it looks like when you spin it. Why is our lighting so bad? I have to get,
oh, there we go.
There we go. So as you can see, okay, and that shawl, which won first place at Burlington County Farm Fair, I showed this on our other video.
Yes.
That is made out of Walkers. I spun it a little thinner than this one is. This is a worsted, but I spun that at a DK, but same colorway. Okay, here's another braid, okay, and this is called Seafoam. And we actually do this on something called Panda Top, which is super.
Not pandas.
Right, I know. People have asked me if it's made with real panda fiber. It's not.
It's not panda.
It's called Panda because it has a high bamboo content. So it is 60% superwash merino and 30% bamboo and 10% nylon. So it's great for socks and shawls and everything. This is one of our few fibers in the store that is made with superwash merino. Most of it is not. as far as the fiber goes. We have a lot of superwash yarn, obviously. But this is called seafoam, and this is what it spins up into. I really love this skein. Okay, Pam, bye. I really love this skein. It is just, you know, I don't know. When I spun this, I was really debating on whether or not I should put this on the shelf, but I can't keep all the yarn. I can't keep all the yarn. I do try. I do try. Okay. Here's another one. This is something called Dorothy's Nemesis. You know, Wizard of Oz, Wicked Witch, all that jazz. And I started doing this around Halloween a few years ago, but it's black and purple and chartreuse.
And again, on Panda top.
And yes, that one's on Panda as well. And Jess spun it up, and this is what it looks like. Really, really cool. Really, really witchy, really, really Halloween-y. Perfect for this time of year. Okay.
No, not that too.
I'm out of braids. I'm out of braids.
Oh no, you got that one.
Oh yeah, I've got the silk. I'll do the silk after. So what do we do? So we get in fiber, you know, to dye. And we also buy some commercial top. Wow, it is hot today.
It is very warm today.
I'm sorry. I'm spritzing. It's very hot. It's the lights. The lights. I'm gonna go back a little bit so you guys can see. Okay. So, you know, I said this in another video. When we get our fiber in and we braid it up, you know, we buy our fiber in kilos, which is 35.2 ounces. So when we braid it up into 4 or 2 ounce braids, you know, when we braid up our fiber
into our pretty little braids,
we have, we always have a couple ounces left over. So what do? We rip that all apart and we put it into these things called bits and bobs. And it's really fun to spin. And it's just, you know, you just pull it out of the bag and just spin away. It's kind of spontaneous. You don't have to think about it. And it's just fun. It's like great to just spin for fun.
Yes.
And it comes out looking like this, which is a crazy,
very funky.
Right. Very crazy, very funky skein. This is called Wonderful Wonderful in our handspun section. This is, okay, so let's.
That one we're out of that.
Yeah, we're out of that one, but we just sold out of that one. We also sell stuff that, you know, we don't make this here, we buy this, but this is recycled sari silk roving. So how is that made? So the saris that traditional Indian women wear in India, the mills that make those long bolts of fabric always have some fabric left over. So what they do is they card it. It's recycled. Some they sell it in strips. They sell it in you know, some yarns, and some of it goes into a process to where they card it like we card bats, and they card it to the point where it becomes like fiber again. And you can spin that. You can also put some of that into your felted items.
Yes.
But if you spin it, which is, it's actually a really fun spin. I did it as a sample. So, because I like to sample Jess and I like to make sure everything in the store is nice to spin.
Yes.
Because if it's not nice to spin, we don't want to sell it because we don't want somebody to not have fun time spinning it. So, and so this is what it looks like. Why is the light? You know, I always have lighting problems.
You
Jess.
do.
I always have lighting problems. But I always have lighting problems. What if I? Okay, and this is just called sari silk waist. The only thing with sari silk or soft silk or those things is when you wash them, they may bleed. So when you have stuff that has it in there, I suggest washing in cold water so that you can minimize the bleeding. Silk is notorious for bleeding when it's dyed anyway. Okay, so now some
Yeah, that's
two
more commercial fiber.
We got 2 new braids in a few weeks ago, and neither of us have spun it up yet. But these 2 colors I do want to do something for, and then for my daughter. But this is called Pink is the New Alpaca. It is really a scrumptious looking braid, and it is merino, alpaca, and kid mohair.
Very cotton candy looking.
Very cotton candy looking with a little bit of gray.
Yes.
And it's so soft and squishy. I had to, just to annoy her. So, you know, that's called Alpaca is the new, Pink is the New Alpaca. This one is really cool. This is a merino, a tweed, and a bamboo all mixed together. I call this Purple Pop. And it's purple with like pink pops of, it looks like cotton candy. That's why I want to put these 2 together. I want to do one ply and one the other ply.
And see what happens.
So that is on my list of things to do. I've already stolen some off my own shelf. So shh, don't tell anybody. Okay. So now, obviously, we do a lot of stuff from our own animals because, you know, we have 48 alpacas on the farm and 4 llamas. We don't actually use the llama's fiber because they're here for guarding purposes. We don't have them here as fiber animals, but we do use all of our alpaca fiber. And we either make yarn or roving or put it into bats. So we send a good portion of it off to the mill every year because if we were going to put everything in bats, we wouldn't sleep. We wouldn't eat. We'd be here 24/7. It's impossible. It's too much fiber. So this is a roving that is 70% alpaca, 20% merino, and 10% silk. Excuse me. And this is from our champion Sebastian. Okay, it is a fawn. It's like a golden color. And he is, and then I spun this. I made the same blend because it's so beautiful. I try to do him every year. And then I had made this hat. I spun him into like a fingering weight, and I made this hat. This is by Joji Locatelli, and this is called Le Petit Bull. I'm probably screwing that name up, but you know, I'll put it in the show notes. But it is really, really a cool pattern, and I think it looks great in our natural farm yarn.
Yes. Farm
fiber, excuse me. Okay. This is also, I didn't send all of Sebastian to the mill last year. I kept some of his fibers so that I can make some bats. So I made some bats and I put some sparkle in them. Shocking. And this is alpaca, 70% Sebastian, merino, Tessa silk, and a little soft silk and a little sparkle. And what does that spin up like? That spins up like this. Okay, which is so soft and squishy. This actually, we're out of this bat right now. We just sold out of this bat, but I really, really like this colorway, and Jess spun this up, and it's really, 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 really pretty. And it is like a grayish, steel gray, blackish background, and it is all the pops of color. There is a ton of color in there. And the bat is called Fade to Black, and so is the skein of yarn. That's the yarn is on sale on our website, and it's sari silk, BFL, alpaca, and merino, and it came up really, really nice. And she spun this at, what weight was this? This is a sport weight, and it's 372 yards in 4 ounces. So that's a lot of yardage. It's a lot of yardage for a hand spun skein. So Jess makes Rolags. And I'm going to take one out to show you what a Rolag is.
Shine.
So
Tracy spun these.
Yes, Tracy has spun these. So Rolags are really cool. They come off of a blending board or a drum carder, and they're just like tubes. You can't really see the hole because it's kind of collapsed, but they're like little tubes, and they're really, I think, my opinion is that they are the most easiest thing to spin because they kind of like just draft on their own. You can do long draw with this. It's really nice. And this particular colorway is called Sea Fairy. And this is what it looks like. You can see there's a lot. Oh, look, the lights are
Yes.
sparkling.
Yes.
So that is called Sea Fairy, and we have those Rolags. Okay.
As well as others.
As well as others. So this bat,
Oh, Jules.
yes, from a little girl named Juliet. She's super, super soft. And this is alpaca, merino, and tussa silk with
Sparkle.
a pinch of Angelina. And I'm just going to move this table.
Again.
Yeah, because I'm going to go right into the light. Go into the light.
Don't step on everything.
I'm not. And so here, that's better. Yeah, just bring the chairs over. So this is called Antique Romance. It has some beautiful burgundy. Juliet's like a rose gray. She looks fawn. And then this is what it spins up into. That's a little closer. Awesome. Thank you, Jess. See, it's so much easier when there's two. Oh yeah, that lighting's much better. Hi. Okay. So you could just hand me stuff. So
Oh, let's see. Ooh.
oh yeah, let's show some of the rovings. Yes. So here's some of our other rovings made from our animals. Here's Blaze. He is a delicious chocolate brown. And this is 70% Blaze, 20% merino, and 10% cultivated silk. Okay. This is same fiber blend, but this is from a black boy named Chase, who happens to be Sebastian's son. And the white streaks in it are cultivated silk. And I tell you what, this blend, when I originally did this blend, like, I don't know, must have been like 6 or 7 years ago, I never send anything to the mill except for this blend because it just kind of drafts on its own.
Yes.
It's so easy to spin, and you can make stuff really, really thin, which is why I was able to spin. I'm going to show you this hat again. Oh, look how much better the lighting is.
Yes.
So that's why I was able to spin this at a fingering weight, because it's kind of hard to spin some fibers really thin because of the preparation. I say all the time that spinning is 90% fiber prep. This is Mr. Zeus, and we put some Firestar in this actually instead of silk, and we give it a little sparkle. And see, he's so bright. Got to wear shades with this one. And then Stella. This is Stella. Okay. Yeah, I have a girl named Stella. Her mother's name is Bella. You know, I just make fun with these names. They're just funny. But Stella is light fawn. So this is a very, very light fawn. Much lighter than somebody like Sebastian, as you can see. So it almost looks white, but it is a light fawn. And it would look great plied with something a little darker or on itself. It makes a really nice yarn. What's next? Oh, yes. So I just did these the other day as part of our fiber club. We also have a monthly fiber club for bats. And this was, what month was this? This was, oh my God, I didn't write it on there. It wasn't this past month. It wasn't October, it was September. It was September. It wasn't. Yeah. So this is called Gossamer's Wings. And this is from a little girl named Sita, who's white. And then I put some very light lavender and pink in there and a bunch of sparkle. This is very sparkly. Yes. And it comes in both smooth. This is the smooth one, and textured. The textured has silk noil in it. This has regular, not noily silk, just regular silk. And I mean, it is just so, Jess had spun this before, yes. And it's just so ethereal. This, yes, it is. You know, people who know me know that I'm not a very light person. I like darker, bolder colors, but this is one of my favorite bats I've ever done. I don't know why. It's just so, okay. Okay. Happy birthday. Oh, look, happy birthday. It's not even my birthday. Here's our happy birthday bat. Crazy, little bit of chocolate streaks. and all the colors of the rainbow. I showed this the other day when I was showing how to spin some bats, but this is what it spins up into. I just did this. Look at that. Isn't that cool?
It's like a funfetti cake.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it was. That's what we, you know, it was those little sprinkles on
Yes.
that cupcake. So this I have not put up on the site yet because it is not washed. I just finished this. And are you ready, Jess? It's so soft and squishy. What else
And
do we?
we're back to Halloween.
Oh, yes.
Very Halloween-y.
I showed this the other day too,
Yes.
but I want to show this with the yarn. So this is called In the Garden, Midnight in the Garden of Good and Purple. And this is black alpaca from Winona and Serafina mixed with purples and lavender bamboo and silk and sari silk and all this stuff. It is just, and of course, lots of sparkle. I like the way that, I hope that they're able to see this on the camera, the sparkle.
The shimmers, yes.
Yeah, it looks like we're in like a diamond jewelry store, right?
Yes.
Yes, okay. And this is what that spins up into. And I did this at a,
Is that one at TK?
this is a heavy, it's like a heavy worsted. Yeah, it's a little bit thicker. It's like an Aran weight. And both of these are on the website. They're both called Midnight in the Garden of Good and Purple. There's 2 skeins of this, and I think there's only 5 bats left. I made them specifically for, you know, in the last month to get ready for Wool Walk, and they've gone pretty quickly.
So do we want to do beginner or raw?
Oh, that was just on the table. Now, we also have a bunch of fiber. Okay, this is washed. As I said, I don't bring dirty fiber into the store because I don't want that dust. Alpacas are very dusty.
Very dusty.
They don't have lanolin like sheep, but they're dusty animals because they like to roll. Yeah. And so, you know, we don't like to bring the dirty fiber into the store. So
no bueno.
No bueno. So but I just washed a bunch of stuff over the summer, and I put some out for sale. And so this is washed.
Mr. Romeo.
This is Romeo, that's right. And he has baby fine fiber. And as you can see, it's just ready for you to pick or card, or you could spin right from the bag, or you could felt it. Okay, and he is super soft. He is considered baby fine. And we sell these. We have brown and black. And well, we sold out of Rosalita, right? We sold out of the rose gray, but we still have silver gray from Madman. And I'm in the process of washing white. So if you're looking for white, you know, just let me know. But we have some of that as well. And you know, I sell these in 4-ounce bags. We always have more available if you need it. So, okay. Did I go through the whole pile? I didn't do Jordan's. I didn't do Jordan's bats. So my daughter, for those of you who don't know, has been homeschooled ever since, well, she was born. Well, I didn't start homeschooling then, but yeah. So she's been hanging out with me. She's 9 years old now. She'll be 10 in January. And so she's homeschooled. She's been with me every day in the studio doing whatever mommy's doing. And she knits, she spins a little, but what she likes to do, she loves to felt. But what she likes to do for the store to earn money, because she's a little entrepreneur, she makes her own little bats. So we call these batlets, okay? And they are, what are they, half ounce?
Half ounce.
Half ounce each. They're each a half ounce. And she just makes up a bunch of them. And she just puts them in this little bag, vegetable matter. And she just puts them in this little bag. And, you know, people just love these. She made some for Wool Walk, and like the bag's almost gone. We have this one. I love this one. Look at that. I don't know where she gets her ideas. She must have some creativity in her too. So those are Jordan's mini bats. And what other fiber do we have in the store that we might not have discussed?
We have add-ins for those that card.
That's right. We carry almost everything that you could want. We carry Angelina Sparkle to add in. We carry Firestar. which is a nylon-based sparkle. It's not as bright as Angelina. It's also easier to spin. Angelina sometimes pokes out. We carry a full bunch of silks. We have black tussa, regular tussa, golden tussa, bleach tussa. We have those sari silk braids.
Yes.
We have yak and angora and
Faux cashmere.
BFL and faux cashmere and cotton and flax and rayon.
Oh my.
Oh my. We even have something called zwartables. And I know I'm saying that wrong because there's not another vowel in there, but
No.
I don't care. I think it's a good name. It's zwartable. I think it's zwartable.
Yeah.
Zwartable. I call it zwartables. But, Jacob, we have a bunch of fiber that we carry. And that we even carry practice fiber, Corriedale roving, which is really inexpensive when you're learning to spin, and we even carry core filler for people who felt those little characters. We even carry that, which is really inexpensive wool, so that because you're just stuffing it into the armature, and you don't want to use something good or something expensive. So we carry pretty much every fiber you can want. And if we don't have it, we can get it. Yep. So we like fiber. As I said, that's how I started out. That was kind of my claim to fame. And I really enjoy working with fiber and love all things fiber. My biggest, I know I'm an indie dyer, and I teach spinning, and I teach dyeing, and I teach knitting. But my favorite thing to do is spin yarn. I just love to spin yarn. And, I make bats and I dye fiber as well. But my favorite activity to do, bar none, is just to spin yarn. If I could spin yarn 8 hours a day and make a living doing that, I may. But that's not going to happen. So I do other things too. But I love to spin yarn. I think it is just so cool that, you take something, you have no idea sometimes how it's going to turn out. And it's kind of magical. It's kind of, it's very cathartic, very, I don't know. Zen, very zen. It's very zen. I like it. So, okay. So I think I have said more than I need to say. I think I fixed our lighting issue. And, we tested that though, and it looked fine.
And it was fine.
So, I think it has something to do with Zoom. So, not a chatty group.
No,
not a chatty group. They might not be spinners either. Who are anybody spinners here? No.
Other than Tracy?
Other than Tracy, I know Tracy. No. So yeah, so they're not really spinners. So I appreciate you sitting by and watching us. At least you got to see how the yarns are, and all those yarns that I showed are all for sale, except for the one I said I hadn't washed yet. It will be for sale. It's just not up yet.
There's a whole section on the
there's a whole handspun section, yarn, handspun. There's also a bunch of handspun minis. Yes. We do lots of minis too.
Lots of little bits and ends.
Mm-hmm. So, all right. So we also teach spinning, obviously now with the coronavirus. Oh, thank you. I'm glad that I was able to give some information. Again, I apologize about the lighting. I don't know. It's so much easier when I do a podcast, because rather than a live meeting, because during a podcast, if I realize that my lighting is bad, I just stop. It's hard to, you have to kind of pivot.
Catch on the fly.
Yeah. So, so anyway, so we teach spinning. I teach spinning here. And, Jess and I enter fiber festivals every year. Not this past year.
Obviously.
And, like to get feedback on our spinning as well. But I teach spinning here and haven't been able to do it in person for the last 6 months. I'm thinking about doing some online classes starting at the end of the month for, virtually for spinning, because people have been asking me, and, people like to spin. They want another hobby, because obviously knitting and crocheting isn't weird enough. You have to spin your own yarn too. Yes. So I think I have a pin that says that.
Yes. Spinning,
because crocheting and knitting aren't weird enough. So yes. So, and then there's weaving.
Yes.
And hairpin lace, and what else? How many other things can we possibly do? No more hobbies.
Yeah, no more hobbies.
No more hobbies. No more hobbies. Well, this isn't hobbies. This is our job.
Yes.
This is my job. This was my job. So, okay, well, if there are no questions, then we're going to sign off. And, you know, again, don't forget that code for, oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you liked it. I apologize again about the lighting, but we're going to sign off. Don't forget to use the code.
NJWW 2020.
Right. So that is, and I'm going to put all the patterns that we discussed and all the links of the stuff we talked about on the show notes when I put it up on YouTube. But you can always ask us, you know, through Facebook or whatever if you have a question before that goes up. And don't forget the code on any of Jess's hand paints, any of my hand paints, and any of our farm yarn. Spend $100, get 10% off. And that is online. You could just type that code in. Or if you come into the store, just say you saw the code on one of our videos, and we'll give you that in the store too. So it's both online and in the store. And we hope to see some of you guys this week, whether it's online or in the store. And, you know, if you have any questions or, you know, about fiber, about yarn, about dyeing, you know, feel free to pop us a line over on our Facebook page. Yep. And we're happy to answer them. All right. So for the Yarn Shop at Alma Park, I'm Rose.
I'm Jess.
And have a good night. Stay safe. Happy walking. Bye, everybody.